Shalom and welcome to TGC. Today's clip, we have this Muslim right here from Speaker's Corner in the black hoodie, and he has a question for this Christian in the white sweater. So we'll play the clip, hear his question, then we will answer him.
Firstly, we believe God is a spirit. Okay, that is the what of God for us.
No, I asked you who is God.
Now, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So who is God?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get into it.
Yeah.
Okay?
So his question was, who is God? So let's give the answer to this Muslim from Speaker's Corner. And we will start here in Jeremiah 31, starting at verse 31. Behold, the days are coming, says the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. And what is that? That was the first Exodus. My covenant, which they broke, who? The house of Israel and the house of Judah, the house of Jacob, though I was a husband to them, says the Lord. So our scriptures tell us that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is a husband to the house of Jacob. So the answer to his question is, who is God? The God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is the husband to the house of Jacob. When I say the house of Jacob, it means all tribes of Jacob, all 12 tribes. Now, let us look at Hosea 2. And before we read these scriptures, let us be mindful that when these Muslims perform their dawah, they always like to claim that the God of the Quran is the same God as the Bible. So they're stating that Allah, their God, the God of the Quran, is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom we just read in Jeremiah 31, that he was a husband to all of Jacob. So Hosea 2, it reads, therefore, starting at verse 14, behold, I will allure her. And who is her? It's the house of Jacob. And you can read that in Hosea 1 at the end of that chapter. It refers to Israel and Judah, just like we saw in Jeremiah 31. I will allure her, will bring her into the wilderness, just as he did from the Exodus out of Egypt. So the second Exodus, the greater Exodus, will repeat itself and speak comfort to her. Now, when you see comfort, it refers to salvation and redemption. I will give her her vineyards from there, in the valley of Achor as a door of hope. She shall sing there. Why is she singing? Because of their redemption and salvation. When you see that they will sing and throughout the prophets, it tells us that they will be singing and be joyful. It always references their redemption back to their promised land. So when we come across these dawa videos and they want to claim, the Muslims will claim Isaiah 42 refers to Muhammad, and in particularly verse 10, when it reads, they will sing a new song, they will claim that a new song refers to a new law, which to them is Sharia. So what they're claiming is that it's proof that the Torah is done away with and replaced with Sharia, the Islamic law. But when you understand scriptures and when you see that they will be singing or they will sing or sing a new song, it refers to the Israelites' redemption back into the Holy Land. So as we saw when Moses took them out of Egypt, they had the Song of Moses. You'll read that in Exodus 15. If you look at Revelation 15, it tells us, verse 3, that they being Jacob, they will sing the song of Moses, which was the first Exodus, and the song of the Lamb, which will be the second greater Exodus. That is the new song. The new song refers to the second Exodus of all of Jacob back to their promised land, Israel. Let's carry on. As in the days of her youth. What does that mean? Her being Jacob, all 12 tribes, as in the days of her youth when they first came out of Egypt, as in the day when she came up from the land of Egypt. So this tells us, as and it's right on point with the rest of the scriptures from Genesis all the way to Revelation. It teaches us about a second exodus of Jacob back to their promised land, Jerusalem to Israel. That land, Islam has no claim to that land. In reality, what Islam is trying to do is to steal that land from the house of Jacob. They are attempting to steal the election, the inheritance, and the covenant from the house of Jacob. And it shall be in that day, says the Lord. In what day? The day he redeems them at the second Exodus, that you will call me my husband. So again, they're going to call the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob their husband. And why is that? Because that is when they will technically go into the new covenant with him. Right now, we are in a time of betrothal. We are in a time of engagement where we are to make our robes white. We are supposed to make ourselves worthy to be his bride. And no longer call me my master. So if we carry on to Mark 2, we read in verse 18, the disciples of John the Baptist, and of the Pharisees were fasting. Then they came and said to him, why do the disciples of John and of the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not fast. And Messiah Jesus said to them, can the friends of the bridegroom fast while the bridegroom is with them? So, who is the bridegroom who is to be the husband of the house of Jacob? Did we not just see in Jeremiah 31 and Hosea 2 that God is the husband? So Muslims in their dawah, in their attempt to prove Christians wrong about their scriptures, they always will say, show us in the Bible where Jesus actually says in these words, I am God, worship me. We all know, and so do them, these Dawa guys that go around making videos, speaking with Christians, always bring this up. Yet they know that it's not in the Bible, those exact words. And we know that those exact words are not in the Bible. Yet that's their level of Dawa. They're topped off, they're tapped out. They cannot, that's the maximum of their horsepower that they are able to access. But when you read the scriptures, and we know Messiah comes and speaks in parables, for those who have ears to hear will hear, and eyes to see will see, that he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who took on flesh so that he can tabernacle with his people, his bride. So if Jesus is the bridegroom who will go into a marriage with the house of Jacob, becoming their husband, because only a bridegroom can become a husband, he is stating for those who know their scriptures and know their prophecies that we see in our scriptures, they will know that he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who took on flesh to tabernacle with his people. As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast in those days. No one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, or else the new piece pulls away from the old, and the tear is made worse. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the new wine bursts the wineskins. The wine is spilled and the wineskins are ruined. But new wine must be put into new wineskins. He's speaking about the new covenant. We'll carry on to Luke 5, verse 33. Then they said to him, why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers, and likewise those of the Pharisees, but yours eat and drink? And he said to them, Messiah Jesus, can you make the friends of the bridegroom fast while the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them. Then they will fast in those days. Now, let us look at Matthew 25. Then, starting at verse 1, then the kingdom of heaven shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Who is this? This is Messiah Jesus. Now, 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. Those who were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But while the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, Behold, the bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, No, lest there should not be enough for us and you, but go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding. So when he returns, he will gather all of Jacob, take them to the wilderness, like we saw in Hosea 2. In my understanding, they will also go repeat itself like they did when they went to Mount Sinai, and there he will go into the new covenant with them. So the bridegroom comes, Messiah Jesus comes at his second coming, and those who are ready will go into the covenant with him at his wedding, becoming their husband, like we saw in Hosea 2. No, you will call me my husband and no longer my master. And the door was shut. Afterward, the other virgins, those who did not have oil but went to go get some, came also, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Assuredly, I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. So here, the Son of Man, Messiah Jesus. So he's saying, be ready, make your garments white, be wise. So when I return, you can come in to the wedding and you will be my people. You will call me my husband, no longer my master. So when we read parables like this, we find in Mark 13, starting at verse 32, we see why it speaks about masters. But of that day and hour, no one knows, just like we just read in the parable of the 10 virgins. Not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Take heed, watch, and pray, for you do not know when the time is. It is like a man going to a far country who left his house and gave authority to his servants. And that's exactly what he did. And to each his work, and commanded the doorkeeper to watch. Watch, therefore, for you do not know when the master, see, if we know our scriptures, we can tie everything together. When that master returns, like we saw in Hosea 2, that you will call him my husband, no longer my master. Of the house is coming in the evening at midnight, at the crowing of the rooster, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping, just like the parable of of the 10 virgins. And what I say to you, I say to all, watch, be ready. Again in Luke 12, verse 35, lest your waist be girded and your lamps burning, there's lamps again, and you yourselves be like men who wait for their master, there's master again, when he will return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they may open to him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, will find watching. Assuredly, I say to you that he will gird himself and have them sit down to eat and will come and serve them. And if he should come in the second watch or in the third watch and find them so, blessed are those servants. But know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Therefore, you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. So, answering that Muslim in the black hoodie at Speaker's Corner, who is God? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Holy Bible, the one true book. He is the husband to all 12 tribes of Jacob, the house of Jacob. So, of the knowledge that we have of Islam and the Quran, their God, Allah, is he the same God as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob we find in our one true book, the Holy Bible? I have a hard time believing that, as we know in the Hadith, we read that the hour will not come, which is the hour is end times, will not come until you fight the Jews. And if the Jews are of the Israelites, why is the husband commanding his followers in Islam to kill his bride, whom he is a husband to? That a stone will cry out, O Muslim, there is a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him. Or we hear the chants, we will knock on the doors of heaven with the skulls of Jews. Therefore, how can we believe the claim that we hear from the Dawa guys that Allah is the same God throughout the whole entire one true book, Holy Bible? That Allah of Islam, the God of Islam, is the same God of our prophets, Adam, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, David, or Messiah Jesus. Yet, in their beliefs, in their book, in their hadiths, it's claiming, hey, although I'm a husband to those guys, those Israelites, go and kill them. So one is true and the other one is false. One is the corruption of the Holy Bible. The Quran is the corruption of our Holy Bible. The Quran, Islam, I'll repeat it, is trying to steal the election, the inheritance, and the covenant from the house of Jacob. Now, if any of these Dawa guys at the park, Speaker's Corner, wants to chat this up, I'm sure if they want to, they know where to find me. If they want to, anything I said in this video, they can reach out to me. And I'm sure they are smart enough to know how to get a hold of me. So I'll leave it there. I thank you for watching, and may the one true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, may he comfort you and bless you. All praise and glory goes to him, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom.